Thank you for coming by my YouTube site, Tori Magoo 44. It is the 28th of March, and I just wanted to tell you guys a few tips on isolation because not by choice and not because of the coronavirus, although I am kind of isolated, self-isolated because of the coronavirus, but I know a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff because all of us have been asked, at least in the state of California, to stay in. And it's tricky, as days go by. And because I was in a cult for 30 years and I woke up in 2000 and escaped out, thankfully I had a few friends who helped me, but many, many days I was here by myself because um, Scientology won't allow anybody in Scientology to talk to you if you leave and say anything about them, which I actually wasn't going to say anything about them, but they just kept picking on me. And I finally realized, hey, I've got free speech too. And I started talking, and there you go. So, number one, the very first thing you have to do is keep a positive attitude. Now, I know that's tricky when times like this, but you can. You wake up in the morning, get out of bed, make your bed. That's number one. Get dressed. And, put on a face. You know what I mean? Maybe, you don't have anybody that's going there, but why not? It kind of just starts the day. Have some coffee or whatever you have to do for breakfast. Have a breakfast. I used to be 100 pounds overweight, and I know one of the key things Weight Watchers says overweight people don't do is have breakfast. That's like number one. They drink Diet Coke and they don't have breakfast. And so I started eating breakfast, and it actually helps your body because it's like, oh, okay, everything's all right. It sort of like gets everything moving. So there's that. There's number one. Number two is now you're up and about. Now you got to figure out some things to do. Now, everyone's like, oh, God, we got to stay in. But if you really think about it, most of us have things, projects of one sort or another, or educational things, whatever, that we've had on our minds for a long time that we're going to do, right? And it's sort of like it's in your head, but you're going to go visit your friends, or you're going to go out to dinner, or you're having a party, or you're going to a class, or, just different things. You don't have time to do it. But now you have time because you don't have anywhere to go, right? So sit down, get a journal, make a list. Make a list of things that, just sit and write everything that you've wanted to get done that you haven't gotten done. Make a list of it. And then turn the page and make a list of the vital things that you have to get done out of that list. Because there's some things that you really, really should do. And then there's things that, you'd like to do. And then there's things that are fun to do. So you kind of have to, figure out what's the vital things and what are the fun things. And then you make a schedule for the day, figure out what you want to do. And one of the neat things about the internet, that thank God we have the internet, because we can all stay in touch with each other, right? Whereas without the internet, this would be really awful. It really would. It's bad as it is, but I really want to thank our governor for everything he's done. He's fabulous. Everything he says, I enjoy. I love the tone of his voice. He cares about us. He's really a good guy. And I really want to thank him. I do. And it's such a refreshing note compared to who is not doing anything to help us. And if you don't know who that is, well, that's your problem. It's, I'm not going to get into it any more than that to say thank you to my governor because of California, because he's really doing an excellent job. Okay, so anyway, now you've got your journal, you've got a plan, you've got some things to do. Think of all the things that you should have done or could have done or didn't do. Clean out your cupboards, clean out your closet. My friend and I were just talking and we were like, we can't donate anything because there's nobody there to pick it up, right? But you can just put it out in your backyard or in your garage or somewhere, wherever you have some space, put it. for when everything gets going again, and then you can donate all this stuff and you'll have a nice clean house. So there you go. So there's that. Then there's also creativity, things that you want to do. If you maybe you wanted to paint or you want to write some songs, sit down and do it. You got the time now, do it. If you have children, and yeah, that's a whole nother area that I'm going to stay out of for right now. But I homeschooled my son and I had a lot of fun with it. It was really great. There's a lot of cool things you can do that are now on the internet, all kinds of ideas and things. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do in one day. Now that we have, and I love watching TV. I think it's hysterical. I love it. I think it's great, the view, with these four girls that are all in their own homes, but they're still putting it all together and showing the studio and the guys that are putting it on. It's really cool. I really think it's great. I love Jimmy Fallon, I think it is. Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, Jimmy Fallon, who's the guy that does it at home with his kids, which is hysterical. He does his first thing with the kids live with right now what's going on, and then he switches over to, I think it's a replay of another show because they're all close together, and that couldn't be now. But anyway, I think he's doing a good job. Everybody that I've seen. I love the weathermen. I think that's hysterical. They're home in their own houses. But somehow they're pulling it off. So anyway, I wish you all a great day. I hope this helped. It's just my isolation tips #1. So there you go. And make sure to stay in touch with your family and your friends. Call a few people every day. You'd be surprised how many people, I call people all the time and they go, oh, I'm so glad you called. I really am. So give them a call, see how they're doing, check on each other. We got to take care of each other. We really do during this time, especially. We always should, but now more than ever, we really need to. All right, so there you go. I love you guys. You take care.